game. So the game started with Caro-Kann defense, and this is exchange variation. Knight f3, bishop f5. So I think like move the knight out is better than move the bishop. The reason is we could probably move the bishop to g4. We don't know. Maybe g4 is better than f5, or maybe a6, b5, bishop b7. So my point is bishop is more flexible than the knight at this position. So if we look at the g8 knight, I'm pretty sure it will be placed at f6 sooner or later. And also regarding this knight, I think c6 is definitely better than d7 because c6 is close to the center. I mean d7 is like blocking the light square bishop. So since we are more sure where should we place the knight, so we should move the knight first. And as the game develops, we can decide the position of the knight, the bishop later. So bishop f5 and c3. So from white's perspective, I think we can like play c4 to attack the center. And if black take our pawn, we can take that with the bishop, and then we divide the bishop. We have a center pawn. I think the position favors us. And if black play e6 to support the center, and there might be some problem with b7 and d5 because the light square bishop cannot go back to protect the pawn. So white can play queen b3 to attack b7 first, and also adding some pressure at d5. And if black play, for example, queen c7, and we can play knight c3. Now white is better than black because I don't think black has any way to defend the d5 pawn. Or maybe queen d7, but the problem with queen d7 is knight e5. The queen will go to maybe c7 again. So there will be a problem for black to defending these two pawns at the same time. So yeah, c4, this is what I suggest. And c3, knight f3, bishop d3 offering exchange. So I'm still thinking like queen b3, something we can consider. So exchange bishop, knight c6, e6, bishop f4. Black also trade the bishop. So the position is quite equalized. And so there is a semi-open file for black, and there's another semi-open file for white. So the question is, how can players utilize the semi-open file? And for white, potentially move the rook to control the e file, and later move the knight to control e5 and attack the king side, because white has much more space at the king side. But for black, probably control the c file, and later, if possible, we can offer a pawn exchange to create a backrow pawn at c3, and also move the knight to c4. So let's see, knight to d2, castle, rook e1, this is good, this is semi-open file mentioned, yeah, and rook to c8. And if we compare which rook should we move, maybe I will move the f rook, because we can leave the a rook to b8, and it can help us pushing the b pawn. Because as I said, I think the focus of black is on the queen side, so maybe we should move the f8 rook to c8. e3. I think I put the knight to e5 first, control the center, why not? And black cannot take that because there's a fork. And later move this knight to control the e5. I think white is going to move rook to the king side probably. a6, e1, b5. So I'm thinking, can we push the b5 right now? If white take that, we put in rook b8. Yeah, and queen to, I don't know, a4, and we can take the b2 pawn. And this rook is active, controlling second rank. And also we can move the rook to attack c3. So I think we don't have to push a6. We can push the b5 straight away and then b4. And black's going to attack the and also I'm thinking maybe move the knight first, and then we can control c4. If we push upon the b5, if white push upon the b4, I mean this is a backward pawn, but we cannot move, or it's not easy for us to move knight to c4. Yeah, just the order of moving pieces, b4 and rook to ba. I think black's going to push the pawn to a5. Can we do that? If we take, and we can take the b pawn or use the knight. Attack the pawn and the fork. There are two isolated pawns we can attack. Okay, I think okay. We don't have to protect that b5. So yeah, rook back to ba. So imagine if we move the f rook to ca and this rook to ba, we don't have to like move this rook left and right, right? Knight to b3, rook to aa. It feels like okay, we want to push the a5 pawn, but it feels like we've wasted some moves here. Can we just push that? And attack c3. I don't think the knight can hold the pawn for a long time. h3, for example. Yeah, we can attack c3. This is a very good move. I'm grabbing some water. So it's controlling c5. A very good knight. So now I think white is better because white has first of all closed the semi-open file and attacked the a6 pawn. (97) 95. I think instead of 95, we can move knight to g5. But I cannot push f5 because the pawn will be captured. h6 is a blunder. g6, rook h3. And we can win the h7 pawn. We can sacrifice. So, yeah. I think 97 is a problem. So I think we can still play a5. If I take, we can take a2. And we can move another rook to attack these two pawns. These two pawns are isolated. Yeah, after exchanging pieces, the game became equalized again. Queen 7 is a mistake. White can win the pawn. I think black is focusing on attacking the queen side, but miss the problem, or didn't think much of what the opponent will do. Otherwise, yeah, if I ask what will white play, then we'll realize we'll lose the pawn. But we should keep this question in our mind before we make every move. What will our opponent move? And I'm still thinking push a5 is okay. We don't have to move the rook queen to e7. So the queen can support b5. That's a good thing. If you take, I take, and I can attack a2, and also with another rook. Okay, white didn't realize d5, and then yeah, after the rook being kicked, white find a very good move. Okay, I think white as up one pawn, and then we now I think we made another mistake, that is losing another pawn, right? The d5 b5 pawn is losing. So can we just, yeah, it's tricky to play. Rook c4, queen c7, at least trying to get a draw here, but a5, I think we end up losing another pawn, right? So that's, the position is becoming even worse. Exchange queens. I think white has up on pawn, so I will keep the queen on the chessboard to complicate the position. Trading the queen just make our opponents better. Yeah, not trade the rooks. Rook b7, yeah, this is very active. I like this move. I think white is better because the 7th rank is the problem, and also the c6 pawn. Okay, so yeah. G to the king f3, yeah, that's good. Yeah, rook h8 is a really good move. If we have the queen, h2, and we will lose. Yeah, that's a really good move. Also, very, very great. Yeah, I think the game. Yeah, now I think white is. I think white is winning after having a queen. Wow, that's amazing. Queen h8. And I think both sides are fighting really hard. Really good job, everyone. So I think black is trying everything black can do. The rook h8, that's a very great move. But I would like to talk about a little bit how can black, I mean, after trading the queen, so how can black, okay. I'm thinking the black kings should stay at e7, protect f7, and we need to move the rook to interrupt or to attack the king side, so we can kind of distract the white king and white pawn. So for example, rook either ba or a8, and if c4, we can move the rook. For example, check the king. If you go to here and I play f5, if you go here, I can take your pawn. If f4, I can take this. I can like destroy this pawn, like connected pawns. King to h6, I can attack this one. Rook h4. So my point is we need to activate our rook, and king at e7 can protect the king side pawn. And yeah, also like rook a2, we can force the white king back to f3. And if the pawn go here, for example g5, if c5, check the king, go here. Then go back, go here, rook e6 check, so then we can win the pawn. So the idea is, I think, from black's perspective, because this is a semi-open file, and we need to move the king to f7, keep f7, and then move our rook to attack the kingside pawn. But I also understand it's very hard to find this strategy. And also after king d6, c4, rook e8. Yeah, and once our king moves to c6, I think our f7, our king cannot protect f7. b7 is great. Rook b7 is really great. Yeah, after trading the pawns, the problem is the rook will kick our king away and win at e6, and also helping the pawn promote. So if we don't lose f7, that problem shouldn't exist. Okay, but if black don't trade the queen, I think it's easier for black to get a draw, like queen b5, just stop this pawn going upward. And yeah, I think this is easier for black to get a draw, because once we have the queen, the position keeps like complicated. And that's it.